Hello everyone. This is again the continuation of the last video in which we were discussing on the topic of calibration and validation of the models. So here we can see the diagram. So in this diagram we can see this is the real system and how we are going to build a model using this real system. So here there are three steps as I have told in the calibration and validation of the models. So here these are the three steps. Build a model that has a high face validity, that is the first step. Second step is validate the model assumptions, and third step is compare the model input output transformations to the corresponding input output transformations for the real system. So here in this diagram we can see here this is the initial model. So in this initial model, what we are going to do is compare the model to the reality. So how we compare? We compare it with the input and output of the real system with that of the initial model. Then again, if there are any changes needed in our model, then we go for revising it. Once we revise, then first revision of the model. So this first revision of the model, again it will be compared. Once we have done the first revision of the model, then again we are going to compare it with the real system. So once we are going to compare revised model to the reality. So if again any of the changes are required in our revised model, then again we go for one more revision. So that revision is nothing but here second revision of the model. So this second revision of the model, again we are going to compare it with the real system, and if any changes are recommended in that system too, then again we go for the revise. So this continues. These are nothing but the iterations. So these iterations are nothing but the calibrations, calibrating a model with that of the real system. So how we are going to calibrate? We are going to calibrate in the iteration steps by using the iteration steps. So these revise, these are nothing but the iterating steps or iteration steps which we are going to perform on the model in order to improve its performance. So next, in the first step, here we know that the first step is build a model that has a high face validity. So what actually is a face validity? We are going to see here now. The first goal of the simulation modeler is to construct a model that appears reasonable on its face to model users and others who are knowledgeable about the real system being simulated. That is how it appears by looking at the model, whether it is attracted by the model builders or the knowledgeable persons or any of the analysts. So how it is, how it looks. So the first goal of the simulation modeler is to construct a model that appears reasonable on its face to model users and others who are knowledgeable about the real system being simulated. So next is the users of a model should be involved in model construction from its conceptualization to its implementation to ensure that a high degree of realism is built into the model through the reasonable assumptions regarding system structure and reliable data. So here they have told that in order to increase the face validity, what we have to do is we also have to include the yeah, we also have to include the users in the construction of the model. So we have 12 different steps in the construction of the model, right from the conceptualization, that is from the first step to the last step. Last step is implementation of the model. So we have to actively involve the users of the model in developing that model or in building that model, such that why we have to include them means the high degree of realism is built into the model through reasonable assumptions. So whatever assumptions will be made in building the model, so that also will be known to the users regarding the system structure and also the reliability of the data. So everything will be transparent to the user so that the use of the model can be done efficiently. So he will be knowing how actually the system is built, what are the data which have been considered in order to check for the verify or validate the model. So everything will be known to the user, so it will be very easy for him to understand. Another advantage of user involvement is the increase in the model's perceived validity or credibility, without which manager will not be willing to trust simulation results as a basis for decision making. So one of the important part is decision making. Decision making means whether the input whatever we have given, whether it is the actual it is accepted by all or no. So for that, the manager has to trust the simulation results first. In order to make him to trust the simulation results, another advantage of user involvement is to increase the model's perceived validity or credibility, without which manager will not be willing to trust the simulation. So we are going to give some values for validity as well as credibility. So depending on which manager will decide, or he will trust on the simulation results based on the decision making. Sensitivity analysis can also be used to check models face validity. Sensitivity analysis means how sensitive the system is. If we change any small part or small data of the model, so what are the changes which will occur in the output of that model? So that also can be checked with the help of sensitive analysis, and that is also one of the important part in the face validity. The model user is asked if the model behaves in the expected way when one or more input variables is changed. So even the model user, he will be inquired whether what is the behavior of the model if we are going to change any small part or one or two inputs of the variables. What are the changes that occur, whether it is whether the model will be like completely changed or partially changed, or it completely depends on whatever data we have given. Everything will can be noticed with the help of the model user. So here model user becomes the important part in our uh, model building. So involvement of the model builder is very important thing in which we are going to consider the in our model building. So in each and every phase he will be actively involved, such that he should be able to know each and every part of working of that model. So based on the experience and observation on the real system, the model user and the model builder would probably have some notion at least of the direction of change in the model output when an input variable is increased or decreased. So because of involvement of the model user, both the model user and the model developer or the model builder, both will be having some knowledge of the changes which will occur if we are going to change any of the values of the variables. So next is the model builder must attempt to choose the most critical input variables for testing. So if the model builder has to test the model which has been developed, then he has to give the most critical input variables. So if it is too expensive or time consuming to vary all input variables. So here the cost also matters, and also the time taken for testing also matters. If it is really time consuming, then we will go with the test for only few input variables. If it is not so much time consuming, then we go for each and every input variables. So this is about the phase validity and calibration and validation of the models. Next, what are the assumptions we are going to make for the validation of the model? So once the model has been verified, then we have to validate it. Validation is done in two types, that is calibration and validation. So calibration is nothing but the iteration process. So in each and every iteration, we are going to improve the performance of the model based on the tests which are being performed in order to check the model with the real system. So in validation of the model assumptions, so here we have model assumptions fall in two general classes. So structural assumptions and data assumptions. So here the model assumptions will, there are two types of model assumptions, that is one is structural assumption and the other one is the data assumption. Structural assumptions involve questions of how the system operates and usually involve simplification and abstraction of reality. Structural assumption involves questions of how the system operates and usually involves simplification and abstraction of the reality. So here, how the system behave structurally.